Mumbai is drowning in potholes, flooded every monsoon, and suffocating under crumbling infrastructure. But what is our Neta's biggest concern this week? Penguin names. Yes, in the middle of civic chaos, BJP leaders are protesting because three penguin chicks at Byculla Zoo were given English names: Noddy, Tom, and Pingu. Their demand? Give the birds Marathi names or face agitation. It is not a joke, it is politics. Identity, language, and election time optics all playing out in a penguin enclosure. This is Honest Take with me, Tejas, and in today's video, we dive deep into the story that exposes the bizarre priorities of our political leaders. But before we move ahead, please do subscribe to Lokmat Times and tap that bell icon. In March 2025, three penguin chicks were born at Mumbai's Veermata Jijabai Bhosle Botanical Udyan and Zoo, more commonly known as Byculla Zoo or Rani Bagh. These chicks were named Noddy, Tom, and Pingu by the zoo administration. Now, to most people, these names sound innocent, even cute. But to BJP functionary Nitin Bankar from the Byculla Assembly constituency, these names were an insult, not to the penguins but to the Marathi language. According to Bankar, since these chicks were born on Mumbai's soil, Maharashtra's soil, they should carry Marathi names, not English ones. And so began the controversy. He argued that the names Noddy, Tom, and Pingu reflect cultural neglect and proposed alternatives: Adu, Sanju, and Teju, names that, in his words, reflect the soil and spirit of Maharashtra. Letters were sent to the BMC. Protests were held outside the zoo on June 2nd. Bankar even warned of a larger agitation if the names weren't changed within 10 days. Suddenly, the penguin enclosure had become ground zero for a language identity battle. To understand how we got here, we need to rewind a bit. Byculla Zoo brought in 8 Humboldt penguins from South Korea in 2016. It was part of a high-profile project spearheaded by Shiv Sena UBT leader Aditya Thackeray. The penguins were given names like Donald, Daisy, Popeye, Olive, Flipper, Bubble, and Mr. Molt, all English, and nobody seemed to mind at that time. When the exhibit opened to the public in 2017, these penguins became a major attraction. Over the years, their population steadily grew, and by 2025, the zoo housed 21 penguins, including the 3 new chicks. The zoo had consistently used playful, pop culture-inspired English names for all its penguins. Tom, for example, was named after Jerry, another chick born the year before. Pingu, of course, references the famous cartoon penguin known around the world. So in a sense, the naming was part of a thematic continuity, not a political statement. But ahead of the BMC elections this year, even that continuity became a contested issue. So why this sudden demand for Marathi names now? One reason is timing. The BMC elections are around the corner. And in a city where every vote matters, especially among Marathi-speaking citizens, cultural symbols become politically valuable. In recent months, Marathi language pride has seen a renewed push, especially after Marathi was granted classical language status. For parties like the BJP, showcasing cultural assertiveness, even through something as symbolic as penguin names, becomes a way to appeal to their voter base. This isn't new. Mumbai's politics has long revolved around linguistic identity, from shop signboards to school curriculum. What is different now is that even zoo animals are being pulled into the equation. While the BJP's protest got headlines, it also got a fair amount of ridicule, especially on social media. Users on X, formerly Twitter, had a field day. One quipped, "This is called intellectual bankruptcy. When you have no solutions, you name penguins." Another floated satirical Marathi name suggestions like Gotya, Pintya, Chotya, Babya, poking fun at the absurdity of the debate. Some suggested that if naming penguins could fix potholes, then maybe every road in Mumbai should be named after a cartoon characters. Others pointed out the irony. When Mumbai's civic issues are piling up, why is a political party focusing its energies on cartoon-style penguin names instead of fixing real problems? This isn't the first time penguin naming has triggered political outrage. In 2022, the BJP had objected when Shiv Sena's administration named a penguin chick as Oscar. They claimed it was hypocritical, especially coming from the same party that had made Marathi signage mandatory for shops. So what's really going on here? Byculla Zoo's penguins are living in an enclosure that is 1800 square feet, and the population is growing. The zoo plans to expand the space by another 400 square feet, There is also a proposal for 70 crore aquarium project that is yet to move forward. These are actual issues that need public debate and political attention. But instead, the focus has shifted to a naming dispute that, let's be honest, won't change how the zoo functions, how the penguins are treated, or how citizens experience the city. So let's sum this up. Mumbai's drains are choking, roads are crumbling, local trains are running late, and every monsoon, the city turns into a swimming pool without asking. But don't worry, your elected representatives are laser focused on penguin names. Yes, because if Noddy, Tom, and Pingu aren't named Adu, Sanju, and Teju, Maharashtra's Asmita might just slip on a pothole and drown. This is what happens when leaders run out of real issues. They manufacture symbolic ones. They won't fix the leak in the penguin enclosure, but they will leak outrage over cartoon names. And let's be honest, if changing a penguin's name could fix BMC corruption or stop monsoon flooding, we would happily rename every bird, say Baburao Apte. But sadly, it won't, because this isn't about penguins, it is about politics dressed up in feathers, identity optics designed for headlines, not helplines. So the next time a road caves in or your train is 45 minutes late, just remember, somewhere a politician is fighting to rename a bird. This was Honest Take with me, Tejas. If you enjoyed this little dive into the absurd, subscribe to Lokmat Times, hit the bell icon, and stay tuned, because in a city full of chaos, someone's got to keep it real.